Hello everyone, I'm Krooked and I do stuff, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give it a 1 through 10 rating. Today, we are playing Galerians. This is a really late PlayStation entry, coming out in 2000. Because, I mean, at this point, you know, they were gearing up for the PlayStation 2's release, and, yeah. So, Galerians. This game, one of the first things you notice about this game when you start playing it is it has tank controls still. Even though, you know, Resident Evil and all those established tank controls suck, still had them. And that makes it really difficult to get into it today just because no one liked tank controls anyway, and then this is a late PS2 game, or late PlayStation game, so analog sticks were already a thing, and they still decided, you know, why don't we go ahead and just include tank controls again? So, it was a struggle. That being said, like Resident Evil, the game is pretty good in terms of horror. It has a lot of the elements that you want from a horror game, and it does it well. So, let's get into all of this. So, if you hit triangle, you kind of do that. It shows you, like, the controls, a little bit more about it. I know that there's something that you can do with that. I don't remember. Oh, yep. So certain things you can just like short circuit it. That gets me out of the room. And then you can kind of get into all the juiciness of Galerians. So you're a child that was experimented on. Ow! And the first thing it does is it teaches you that if you get hit, your AP goes wild. And then you basically have a seizure and start literally blowing the heads off of things. It disables a lot of your abilities, and you start just having issues. Now, there is a way to stop having the crazy seizures of the AP. But it's not super easy to do. You have to find items that will let you do it. And I don't believe that I have any of those. If you hit R2, it literally just pulls up the options menu. So sense, run, map, use. That's all of the settings right there. So if you ever want to change the controls, you can just go right into it. But I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I'm a little kid that has psycho powers to pop heads. Because, literally, when you're in AP mode, everything gets worried and they're afraid of you because you just go and pop heads. Like, literally, you just blow their heads off, which is why this is, in every single way, a horror game. It plays very much on the trope of, like, child experiments and stuff. I don't have anything that I can do to... Oh, wait, I do. Okay, cool. So I'll use the recovery capsule. And then I'll take some Delamator. And cool. Now I'm not blowing heads off of people anymore. Yay! So... How do I... I know that there's a way to actually use my powers. I'll find it when I have to actually use them for something here in a second. I'm sure. Alright, so locked door, can't open it, but I can sense, which should give me some information. Okay, so the key card. Which I have. You need a security card to use it, and... No. Okay. And security card. Use item. Boom. Use the item. So in a lot of ways, it's very much like Resident Evil, and you have to pick up items. You use them in certain locations. It allows you to open certain doors. Has tank controls, which were popular at the time. And it also has a lot of FMVs, which are actually pretty good graphics. There we go. So holding R1 allows you to charge your abilities, and then X allows you to use them. I just set this dude on fire, like no issue at all. Just boom, on fire, done. And now I think that door is permanently, yeah, okay, permanently unlocked. So red is one of the like stronger abilities, in my opinion. You can also go into green, which is like this shockwave. This is your basic one. I'm pretty sure it just is kind of a basic attack that doesn't really do as much damage as red, but you can also use more of it without having to worry, and I don't think it raises your AP as much. Once your AP gauge fills, of course, you go into crazy seizure mode and... Ow, you little a-hole. Yeah. So this doesn't raise AP at all, but red will raise your AP. It will raise your AP a whole bunch. And freeze a room key. As you progress through the game, you eventually start getting other abilities that are more psychic powers that allow you to do more. And it kind of becomes this whole balancing act of you don't want your AP to go up except in extreme situations where it's beneficial to have your AP go off, and then you kind of just start popping heads. I don't know what a B-ject does. I'm sure I knew at some point in time, but I don't remember what it does now. It's been a while since I played. Graphically, the game looks great. I mean, this is a 2000s PlayStation game, but the character models look great. The FMVs look great. The set pieces look great. There's honestly not much to complain about here in terms of graphics, because it looks good, it plays good, it sounds good. And let's get into sound. When you open doors, it sounds like doors opening. When you step, it sounds like steps. When you use your abilities, red sounds like fire. Nalcon sounds like, you know, you're actually doing some sort of a shockwave or something. Can I scan this? I think I can. Is that a statue of a goddess? Where on earth am I? Oh, nope, I can't. Okay, but I can interact with it, so there's at least that. I think your AP manually or automatically goes up on its own too. And as you use your abilities, I believe you eventually get the ability to level them up, and then they're stronger. So then you can charge Nalcon like to level 2 and stuff. And however much you charge it, it creates a stronger attack, which is how you deal with stronger enemies later on. All the labs you go into, they have good sounds that sound like a lab should. You can tell my AP is going up automatically. Pretty much every time I go into a different room, it goes up a little bit, and that makes it a little bit harder. Okay, so freeze a room key, eject, medical staff notes. Yeah, so basically child experimentation is the name of this game. And it shows you the rooms that you've explored. I think it also shows you the rooms that you've like finished exploring, which is cool. So not too much we can do here, but we can move into other rooms. In terms of a score, I feel like Galerians is one of those games that not a lot of people really got to experience when it was new, and now it's a very, very rare game. I ended up picking it up at a store, local game store, ages ago, and just so happened to find out that it's like one of the coolest games on the entire console. That being said, a lot of people have probably never even heard of Galerians. So it's definitely something that you want to check out. And if you can't buy it, emulate it. Overall, like Resident Evil, like Silent Hill, I think this is a gem of the PlayStation. It does have some downsides, like the tank controls, and it can be a little hard to get into just because of the controls and the fact of you have to play this balancing act the entire time. And the game doesn't really tell you, hey, you're, on a psychotic verge, use this to get out of it. But even without that, I think it's a fun game that most people would enjoy, especially if they like old school Resident Evil. So, with that being said, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. There's been a lot of 8s recently because, well, there's been a lot of really good games I've played in the horror genre on the PlayStation. But, like I said, if you haven't checked it out, check these games out. They're awesome. There's a reason that they have the scores they do. And with all that being said, comment down below and let me know if you've ever played Galerians. Like this video if you enjoyed what you saw. Hit that subscribe button, that way you never miss out on an episode of Unscripted, and hit that notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever a new episode comes out. With all that being said, I do want to thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye!
Get up!